We're live?
Yeah, we're live.
We're going?
We're going.
What's up, Centreville BJJ? We didn't say os. No os. This isn't no os zone. Welcome to Tuesday night. Sorry you couldn't be here, but we wanted to offer some technique tonight and just a feeling of a Tuesday night. Coach Robbie couldn't be here tonight. Coach Ron is traveling somewhere, I believe. So we're stuck, so we're happy to have my man's JR here.
Somebody's got to get beat up.
Somebody's got to be the pretty face. By the way, I want you to keep something in mind. The camera adds 5 pounds, 10 pounds, right? Mine all goes to my ear. And behind the camera, Steve, come around and show your face.
I'll just do one of these first.
We don't even really like Steve too much, but he had the nice gear, the nice camera, so we invited him too.
I'm here.
Yeah, it wouldn't look as good filming on a phone. So,
Yeah.
So, a couple things. We're going to show you some technique tonight. This is really just for continuity. This is for Centreville BJJ. Hopefully you have somebody at home, your wife, your dog, your children you can practice on. If not, you could do some mental reps with these. Very important. And then when we come back together, we can go over all of these actually on the mat. Okay. We're going to be working on the De La Hiva guard and the sit-up guard. They go hand in hand. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we good?
We're good.
Let's make sure we don't get the bald spot in there.
how high up does he need to be?
Okay, so De La Hiva, there's a lot of ways to start with a De La Hiva. The De La Hiva is really about the feet. So I'm going to come behind. This is shallow De La Hiva and push this back. And this is De La Hiva, and there's a lot of different grips. Some people prefer the two-handed grip. Some people like to go behind the ankle. And even going behind the ankle, some people like to grab. Some people like to go behind. Okay? Some people prefer collar wrist grip. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to play De La Hiva guard. We're going to start with double wrist control. Okay? So, both feet on the hips. I've got my cat claw grip. I'm going to come behind. See this foot tucked up in here? And as I push back, I'm going to sit up at the same time. I'm going to let go of this left hand for this first technique, and I'm going to hug his right leg. Here. This is very tight. I still have a grip on this sleeve, and notice this is being trapped. His foot is being trapped by my thigh. I'm going to punch this wrist through and grab it with my other hand and hold on to it because he's going to want to get out of it. He's going to yank. Okay? 2 hands. Okay? You know, we always say, always one, better 2, but never none, right? Always 1 hand, better 2, never none. Once I'm ready to take this hand off, I'm going to grab his collar. Notice this foot has stayed in front the whole time. Otherwise, he's stepping over and he's ruining my technique. So I blocked this the whole time. I'm grabbing somewhere out here, and my job is to pull my elbow straight down. I'm going to do it very slowly because this could put a lot of unneeded, unnecessary force on his shoulder. So I'm going to let him fall down slowly. Okay? And at this point, I could do a couple things. I could post and up to the back. Or I can just melt down in front of him. Any questions? Veda, you ready? Can we do sit-ups? Can we do abs? Excuse me. Okay.
Excuse me.
So that's technique 1. Should I do it again or go right to 2?
Probably right to 2.
Or do you want to just show like one fluid motion of it?
One fluid motion. Here we are. Behind. Push forward. Sit up. Okay, double grip again. This time I'm gonna switch, instead of using this one, I'm gonna be pushing this arm in. Let's get to our De La Riva first. 1, 2. I'm gonna switch arms, sit up. Remember, last time I had this arm, I pushed it through. This time I have the inside arm pushing through. 2 hands, he may try to get away. Notice my foot is still here, so he doesn't step forward. Now, at this point, he has nothing to prevent him from rolling to his right. He can't step, and he can't post with his arm. So I'm gonna roll underneath. As I roll underneath, I'm gonna either grab material or hook. I like to grab. Roll. This position, I kept the grip the whole time. And we have the back. Did you guys see on the ride over? There's probably like 10 police cars around the Exxon gas station. You didn't see that? There's some dumb guy pumping gas, smoking a cigarette. Apparently, his arm caught on fire, right? Okay. You're laughing?
Come on.
This is nasty.
It is nasty.
There happened to be a police officer there, right?
Thinking I've heard
So the
this one.
guy's walking toward the police officer shot him.
Ridiculous.
Right? It's ridiculous. Why did he shoot him?
Why did he shoot him, Coach?
Well, the guy was walking toward him with a firearm. He was waving a firearm. All right, ready?
The older I get.
The older I get, the older I get. Here we go. Technique number 3. Did you want to see me go through the other one smoothly, or just go on to number 3?
We'll just go into number 3, and then if we want to film the second one again.
Technique number 3. Again, we're shifting arms. The original arm, we went into our De La Riva grip, or our De La Riva foot position. The original technique, we push this one through, grabbed it from behind. Second technique, we push this one through, grabbed it from behind. This time, we're actually going to push this one behind his leg and hug his leg. Okay? So I'm going to push back and sit up. Now look, come around this side. I'm pushing this behind. I'm hugging with my arm and my head. Hugging everything here, nice and tight. Okay? I'm going to be pushing him backwards. So I'm going to put this leg back, this leg back. Notice this knee's pointing forward. Look at the other foot. Back here, Steve.
Yeah.
And then I'm posting here. So this is like opposite hand, opposite foot. Proper way to stand up, right? I'm going to shift on both my foot and my hand, and then I'm going to donkey kick this leg backwards. And I keep this the whole time. That was nice. That's a very workable
Yeah,
technique.
yeah, it's very nice and
Can you do that one more time?
Straightforward.
Actually?
All right, so back to the De La Riva foot position. Push him backwards. Remember, the first technique, we push his left arm through. Second technique, we pushed his right arm through the middle as well. This technique, we're going to push his right arm behind his leg and then hug it. Okay, so I've got both wrists. I push the leg back, sit up. This, I let go this arm. I hug with my ear and my hand, nice and tight. I'm going to post on my left hand, my right foot. I'm going to get my hips off the ground like I'm doing a correct way to stand up. And I'm going to donkey kick this leg backwards. 2.
Oh, that is nice.
Veda, you need to see that again?
No, I'm okay, Coach.
Okay, so we're going to switch now. Instead of the 2-hand techniques, we're going to go to the collar wrist. Okay? First thing I'm going to do, set up my De La Riva, push this back, and then when I sit up, I'm just going to sit up and grab here. This keeps him off balance. Okay? For this first technique, I think we're all familiar with it. It's a tripod sweep. I'm going to switch my right to my left. I'm going to grab behind his ankle, on his hip. This foot comes from behind. on his hip, either behind the knee or behind the ankle. Just push back. It's important when doing this technique. That once I start to sweep him, I need to pull my knees in. Otherwise, when I go to sit up, if my legs are straight, I can't sit up. So I need to bring my knees back so I can sit up.
Yeah, I got Ron with one of these and he put me in an ankle lock.
So we're de la Hiva. We come in front on his hip, behind the knee. We switch the grip to the back of the ankle. Pull our knees in, right up to the combat base.
And when you do get that knee around his left knee, I think you said you had to be pretty fast about that, right? Because he could just step the same thing when you...
Let's see, we're going from here
Right.
and here, switching here. I can't stay here all day because, yeah, he's going to take this leg here. So look what he just did. He stepped over. As long as I have this foot in between this foot here, I'm good to go. Because if he steps over like he just did, I'm where I need to go anyway.
Gotcha.
Actually, you know, I forgot here's another very nice Kyle Terra De La Hiva technique. This one, we're gonna switch hands all the way to one side and then back, okay? So I'm here, switching back right here. Look, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna let go my right to my left, behind his ankle, okay? I'm gonna take my right leg over his arm and under. You can even see it popping through right here. I'm gonna switch back from the ankle, right here. I'm gonna sit up, grab the back of his pants. The back of either his belt or his pants. And I'm just gonna sweep into my right. And keep the grip, because you can see the distance his arm is from my instep. That's not my instep, my groin. So I'm just gonna keep this grip so I can pull myself to him, squeeze the knees together. So a guy was sick of being poor and sick of his wife. So he figured he'd get rid of both of them in one shot. He takes out life insurance on his wife, and then he's gonna knock her off. He looks on Craigslist to find somebody to knock off his wife. There's a guy on there, he calls him up. He says, "Yeah, this is Artie." Guy says, "Yeah, I need somebody to knock off my wife." Guy Artie says, "Wait. Don't say anything over the telephone." So they meet up. Artie goes up and he shakes his hand. And the guy says, "Look, I want to off my wife, and I'm going to pay you with her insurance money." The guy says, "How do I know you're not a cop?" The guy says, "I'm not a cop." He says, "All right, give me some money first. If money's exchanged, you're not a cop." The guy says, "I don't have any money." He says, "You got to give me something." So the guy says, "I have $1." He says, "I'll take the $1, just to make sure you're not a cop." Takes $1. So Artie starts following his wife around town. One day she walks into Giant. He looks around, she goes into the Pro Day section. He looks around, he doesn't see anybody. He takes off his tie and he chokes her. Just then, manager walks in. He's like, "I can't have any witnesses." He chokes the manager. Cops come and arrest him. What were the headlines in the newspaper the next day?
What were they?
Artichokes. 2 for $1 at Giant. Artichokes. Artichokes.
Jeez.
2 for $1 at Giant.
Can I make a follow-up joke that might be a little offensive to that? That joke gave me coronavirus.
Oh my goodness. That was like just so dark, and it just stayed dark.
But I want to tell you something. I want to share with you something. You guys can leave anytime you want. You should feel bad for my students. They're a captured audience all day. Nothing but these bad jokes. All right, let's do some more technique. This is my job.
There's actually I actually read a story about I forget which armed forces branch this guy was in, but he was practicing to be a stand-up comedian, and he would always ask for guard duty to watch the prisoners, and he had like I forget what it is, what's like the Geneva Conventions, like the people that come up with those rules. He was apparently breaking one of them because his jokes were so bad that it was considered like a form of like, it was considered a
Torture.
Yeah, it was like a form of interrogation that was not allowed. I'll have to find the article for you guys. It was really funny.
Like this is real?
I'm pretty sure this would fall under, my jokes would fall under this category.
Cruel and unusual punishments.
Okay, we talked about, in some scenarios, when I go collar and hand, that he's going to take this foot down. He's going to push it down, okay? He's going to step over. Okay, in this scenario, I'm going to take this foot right between his butt cheeks. It's not I would be lying if I said,
Just the usual Tuesday night.
I'd be lying if I said we haven't been here before. And I'm just going to pull him forward right here. Okay? Scoop myself out. All right. Now, there's a couple things I can do from this position. Stand up. So, depending on where he falls, will determine my reaction. I got these techniques from a guy named Eli White online. He's very good. And when this one goes over the top, I'm actually going to put my foot on his hip, start to come over the top, scoop, and roll. So when his arm goes over, so we're here, okay, he's pushing my leg down. I need to bring it right back up, and I'm going to use my foot to bring him down. I want all his weight on this arm, on both of his arms. Okay, now depending on where this one lands, here or here will determine my technique. And both of them, the left foot comes on the thigh. Now this time, the arm went over my arm, so I'm just gonna bring this knee out. You can see one arm in, one arm out. For the triangle. So one more time, this time I'm gonna have him, so his arm is gonna fall over the top of mine here. Okay, so de la Hiva. I'm pushing, I'm sitting, he pushes down right away. I'm coming under his butt, I'm shifting everything here. So both of his arms are on the ground. I need to shift, both of them rely on this foot going on his hip. His arm is over my arm in this case, so I'm putting my weight on my shoulder and his hip. I'm coming around, I'm scooping his arm, both knees to the ground, and rolling. I might be able to get the arm bar belly down earlier. He's probably gonna roll over the top. Now, same scenario, but if his arm goes under by my armpit. De la Hiva, I sit up here, so I'm here, right? Everything is gonna come here, so both of his hands are on the ground, and my left foot is gonna come on his hip. Okay, now this time, if his arm comes in here, this is, let's see, yeah, this is when we do the, actually I think I messed them up, right? Yeah, this is when we do the triangle. He's about to go to sleep.
No, thank you.
So, I may have messed them up. When it's underneath, it's a triangle. When it's over the top, it's the arm bar. I think I said that, right?
When it's over the top, it's triangle. Yeah, I think so.
No, over the arm, it's where I do the arm bar. When it's under is when you go to the triangle.
Right. I think that's how it was in those other videos.
Good. So honestly, this is just like a brief introduction to De La Hiva. By the way, when I say Henkel, it's not because I am mentally challenged, although I probably am mentally challenged. It's just I'm just joking my old instructor. I'm paying homage to my old instructor, Leo Dalla. So, also notice Grindhouse hash guard. Any final thoughts?
It's good.
Steve,
No.
turn the camera around so you can see yourself.
How's it look?
Point it down.
It's pretty pretty close.
See your calves?
Oh yeah, I got you. What are you talking about?
What's going on, Max? How's everything? Life good, Max?
He's not paying attention right now. He's mesmerized.
Yeah, I think he's
By the way, put it back on you.
on
On
me.
yourself. People tell me that he doesn't look like the Asian Barney Rubble from the fence.
I can't tell how close this is though. It's pretty close. It's really heavy too.
All right, what do you think? Enough material?
For somebody who's training at home by themselves and probably is going to do this to a chair, probably.
I mean, honestly, we're just looking to entertain people at this point,
Yeah.
right? And we'll go over these techniques at a later time. I know Calvin and his brother, Colonel Mustard, can do these things.
So sad.
We all have a chair, a wife.
By the way, I know Dominion's still open. Let's definitely support them. In fact, if you go over to Dominion, give them a mat fee. I know at this time, like, they can definitely, they will never probably accept it, but man, try to offer them a mat fee because, you know, they're struggling. A lot of BJJ schools are struggling right now, so let's do what we can to help them out. I think Battlefield's still open. Head out there as well. Anything else? Steve, do you have any jokes for us?
No, not really, but it's crazy. Did you guys hear about the actress that got stabbed?
No. What happened? Is she all right?
Oh my gosh. Well, shoot, what's her name?
You just forgot the punchline.
Reese.
Witherspoon.
No, it was with a knife.
You were so wanting one of us to say
I've heard this before, and I just wanted to get it over with.
I was not gonna say it until
Another-
someone said
Another cruel and unusual punishment.
It's a great joke. It's all about the delivery.
Man, did you hear about the lady who was in a car accident? Half of her body got chopped off. It's okay, she's all right.
Oh. Did you guys hear about the corduroy pillows?
Never heard about those ones, no?
You haven't?
No.
Oh man, they're making some headlines.
What were these?
Corduroys are on the line, like the
Lines
bumpy.
on it.
And they're corduroy pillows, so they make lines on the
I
head.
like it. I like it. Let me see.
Be interested to see what people think of
Did you
the
hear,
jokes in this video.
Here was a terrible accident. A keg of beer fell on a little kid.
Oh no.
It's okay. It was a light bear.
All right.
We got any more instructions we're gonna go over at some point
I
here?
think we're done. I could go all night. Man. All right.
Do we expect to see potentially more of the instructional videos?
Yeah, we'll
being-
try to do. And to be completely honest, we just want you guys to see some familiar faces, some smiles. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm struggling at home. Like, I love my family. We're spending a lot of time with my family, working around the house. But just being in quarantine kind of sucks. We'll get through this. I'm confident we'll get through this. Hopefully, our friends and family will get through it with limited impact, right?
Yeah.
I miss you guys, man. I miss the jiu-jitsu family. I miss everybody. Veda, Chloe. It's silly to try to say everyone's names, but like, I miss you guys, man. This is my family away from my home. This is my social outlet. This is my stress reliever. So
No one's
Exercise.
sweating my eye for like a week now. I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, my geese haven't smelled in a while.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
can imagine I'm going to save a lot of money not washing like 300 geese per week.
True.
It's kind of like a podcast.
The older I get, that's the name of the podcast.
That's okay.
The older I get. This is our motto here at Centreville BJJ. The older I get, the older I get.
Cool.
Yeah, words of wisdom.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Us.
No us.
That's for Jeremy. Us.